Hi, my name's Reilly Heman, and the group that I'm going to talk about is women. So, since I'm a young girl, I thought this was fitting to just see how women have been stereotyped in the media and in movies and TV shows. So, first, I thought I'd start with I found on study.com it was actually a psychology lesson, but it was about gender stereotypes in media. And it actually showed a lot throughout like the 70s and 80s and even into the 90s. Women were often stereotyped in like sitcoms, so they would all like mostly be portrayed as like housewives, which was common, but they definitely tried to make it seem like that is all that the woman was capable of, and that she was a housewife and just provided for the family, which obviously is a very powerful thing, but I think it was portrayed the wrong way. And then in the movie Clueless, this was also an example that I found. It's a good example of stereotyping women. Even though it's a funny movie, it really does show that like a blonde girl is kind of clueless and she's not the most intelligent. So that's another example where a girl is stereotyped. And then I kind of thought from there I shift my research over, since I'm a soccer player. I'm always intrigued into like the USWT, which is the US women's national team, their fight for like equal pay compared to the men's team, because obviously they've been super successful, and if we're comparing to the men's team, the women have accomplished more, and they've been paid less over the years. So they actually did settle for equal pay in a lawsuit, which I'm not entirely sure what that entails, but I know they fought for equal pay, and that's exciting just for women in sports and women in general, because I know in the workplace, obviously, there is an Equal Pay Act, so you have to be equally paid if you're doing the same work. But another interesting thing with the USWNT was that the women were starting to fight for childcare, because a lot of them either had to choose between being a mom or being a soccer player, which obviously at their age, when they're professional athletes, that's typically when women are having children. So I feel like that's a very hard life decision, is you would have to choose between if you want to pursue soccer professionally or raise a family. And so they actually worked hard. In this article from Yahoo Sports, it shows actually Joy Fawcett, I think that's how you say her name. She was the first player to actually have a child, and she went to the head coach and asked to make sure that the child could travel. And obviously that was very hard, because your body obviously goes through a lot, so she had to work very hard to get back into shape to be able to play professional soccer on one of the best teams. But she did that, and the coach was nice enough to let her travel with her kid. But it was obviously a struggle, because she would have to hire nannies, and she would have to pay for the child care, and like it was just hard, because it's hard to trust someone when you're in a new place and just like hand your child over to someone who you have no clue about. And it's obviously expensive, considering they weren't getting paid very well. So Alex Morgan, you've probably heard of her, because she is a big women's soccer player. She kind of pushed the movement even farther after she had her first child, because she kind of thought it was ridiculous that the U.S. Soccer Federation didn't pay for childcare or like help them set up childcare while they were traveling, because obviously they are the ones having the children, and they don't want to just leave them behind when they're traveling all the time, because they still want to raise the kid and play. So I thought that was kind of powerful to just show almost the evolution, because women do get stereotyped in the media, but I think that was a great representation of like fighting for rights and earning them. And I think that really just inspires a lot of other people and helps others become aware that the stereotyping that was occurring was not the best thing ever. So then I need to talk about if the depictions are accurate. So I think in like the sitcoms, it obviously can be like funny and they're not meaning it in like a negative way at all, and it's kind of just a joke. But I think that a lot of times it is perceived the wrong way, and even if it is meant as a joke, it can be very hurtful to some women who work very hard to provide for their families or do try to pursue a career and not just be a housewife. So I think that is where it can be offensive, and I don't think it's always accurate. I mean, I think women are discriminated against sometimes in the media, just like many other groups. So I think it's definitely something that can be improved upon, and I don't think anyone's perfect, so I mean, I don't think it will just go away completely, but I do think when something's in the media over and over again, people start to believe it. So I think just trying to fight for equality in a sense, and just trying to make women feel empowered. And yeah, so then, okay, what role does the media play in our understanding of people from other groups? So as I was reading the textbook, I found media imperialism, which I kind of actually just touched on accidentally, but it's control through the media. So I do think once the media kind of catches wind of something and can obviously turn it, a lot of people do see media, so I think it can get twisted the wrong way and get misrepresented almost. So that kind of goes either way. Something could be meant as a joke, but it's taken very harshly, or the opposite. So I think plays in your understanding of people from other groups. I mean, I think the media plays a huge role in your understanding of people from other groups, and I think obviously it's the media's job to try to limit this discrimination, but I also think as viewers of the media, it's important to realize that not everything is black and white and exactly how it's portrayed on the media, so we kind of have to use our best judgment to determine. So thanks, that's it.